Madrigal's was not a fine establishment. It was not, from the outside, even clear that it was an establishment, or what kind it could be. But it was a curious one, and curiosity was a motivation that few would find difficult to ascribe to the doe-eyed Ryden. The building itself was of the same black and white marble as most of the city, with a distinctive saddle roof that the periodic ashfall had left streaked with soot, pierced by a great crooked chimney that sputtered occasional gouts of oily smoke up into the leaden twilight sky. The frosted windows of Madrigal's flickered with inner firelight, though these frequently skewed too far towards sullen reds or curious blues to come from a normal lamp or hearth. A simple pennant above the door declared the name of the place in celestial, infernal, draconic, and a handful of common mortal tongues, though none of them elaborated on what goods or services were offered within. If you had to ask, Madrigal's wasn't the place for you. Cypress Rydan slipped inside, bypassing the common room in which a quiet, eclectic collection of souls and other entities drank, spoke, and smoked at a handful of tables around a great central fireplace. Cypress made instead for another door, tucked out of sight around the corner from the entryway. She heard a groaning creak of wood as she approached and felt the small pass charm in her pocket warm as it worked. The door swung inward by the time she reached it and groaned again when shut, swelling tight against its frame. A more intimate lounge lay beyond, the true heart of Madrigal's, open by invitation only to those with something to offer. A handful of regulars hunched around one table, bickering over a card game. Madrigal herself stood behind the bar opposite the door, tail flicking as she scanned Cypress. Cypress found the half-devil attractive in the same way she could appreciate a finely wrought weapon. Beautiful in form, perhaps, but dangerous first and foremost. Mads was the scion of mortal and infernal parents, 6 feet of muscle-laden, scaled crimson. She sported another foot of goat's horns on top of that and a leathery wingspan twice as wide as she was tall. Madrigal eyed Cypress curiously as she entered, head cocked to one side. "That you, Cy?" she asked, and Cypress saw her ember eyes flash with a cold blue ghost light as Mads tapped into her gift for true sight. She quirked a smile as she confirmed her guess. "New face?" "Old one," Cypress shrugged. Mads was already pouring a slug of flavored rye liquor into a pair of tumblers as she approached the bar. Cypress took one and clinked it with Madrigal's before they both downed the shot. It didn't shy away from the ashy flavor of the crossing, and as a result, Cypress found it to be one of the least distasteful libations available. At least it was honest. Trying not to be the same person in the same place too often. Mads scanned Cypress Rydan up and down, whip-thin tail swishing with eagerness. "Does that mean you brought me something good? I smell something." "Maybe. Haven't had a chance to look at it yet." Mads flashed a hungry grin. "Well, let's get to it then." She looked over at the table of card players. Maybe in the back." Cypress arched an eyebrow. "Think one of the regulars is a rat?" Mads laughed. "Don't want a competition." "You get dibs on the first offer, Mads," Cypress chuckled, following her into a small storeroom behind the bar. "Deal's a deal." Chronicles of the Crossing is an unholy alliance between 4 indie authors, 1 indie game studio, and a heavy metal band to bring you a collection of adventures through purgatory. You can head over to the Backer Kit page right now to pledge your support. Obtain any of these 4 amazing novels in paperback, hardcover, or EPUB editions. Experience the metal awesomeness of Dia Morte's soundtrack, and pick up the original Black Ballad campaign setting for your tabletop adventures if you didn't get it the first time around. Chronicles of the Crossing is a team of indie creators banding together to do something way above our weight class, and we could really use your support, so head on over and check it out now.